Ervin Goffman is a major Canadian-American sociologist. He is considered by some to be the most influential sociologist of the 20th century. His most famous work is The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life, studying face-to-face interactions. He used the imagery of the theater to portray the importance of human and social action. He argued all actions are social performances that aim to give and maintain certain desired impressions of oneself to others. In social interactions, humans are actors on a stage playing a performance for an audience. The only time that individuals can be themselves and can get rid of their role or identity in society is backstage, where no audience is present. In each of our lives, we play many different roles. In every interaction, we engage in a performance of some type. The point of this performance is to get social support and validation for one of our many role identities. Keeping this in mind, we must understand that we're only trying to make sense of our own and other people's behaviors. Because Ervin Goffman's presentation of self theory is a study of identity, social media is a perfect representation. Social media platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook all give us a look into an augmented reality. We only see a version of a person rather than their true authentic self. People tend to create their other persona. Goffman's theory states that in each situation we enter, we do our best to seek as much information about them as possible to best adapt in that specific situation. We use previous knowledge, visual cues, and even stereotypes to make sense of the individual.
Oh, what ugly dog you are. Get away from me, your fur all over me.
However, in some cases, people are able to maintain and adapt to the fronts they've created for themselves. But often contradictions should occur. Contradictions show cracks in the front and invite questions about truth and authenticity. Sometimes we meet someone for the first time and they claim to be vegan, but then we see them out eating a cheeseburger. Or we see them in the gym taking a selfie and leaving right after. First impressions matter, but it's consistent impressions over time that are needed for stability.
Recent expansions made to the presentation of self theory was a study done in 2014 that examined whether homeless men in Sanford, Florida experience stigmas as a result of their homeless status. The stigmas attached to people who are assumed to be homeless are conditions such as substance abuse and mental illness. The researchers conducted semi-structured qualitative interviews focused on stigma and presentation of self, asking people who appear to be homeless if they experience any stigmas based on their housing status and if they use any strategies to counteract the stigmas of being homeless. The main questions that were asked in the interviews were, how do you feel people perceive you? And do you try to hide or downplay your homelessness in any way? The results revealed that homeless people have the desire to look clean and presentable, but lack many of the resources to maintain such an appearance. These findings were tied to Ervin Goffman's theories on stigma and impression management and how homeless people are affected by certain stigmas, which is why they attempt to conceal their status in society. For Goffman, appearance is what indicates what social status people occupy. The personal front can intersect with manner and appearance to influence how others view someone. Furthermore, this research reflects Ervin Goffman's The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life, stating when an individual appears before others, his actions will influence the definition of the situation which they come to have.